possibility, but recently I've been seeing a lot more kind of lo-fi ASMR videos where people just use like wired headphones to make ASMR, and I thought, I have that. I can do that. Let's make a freaking video. So, today, I thought I'd show you some of the informational books I have about the different flora and fauna of North America, but specifically California, where I'm from. And I think I'm going to start off with this Birds of California field guide. So I got this book when I went to Pinnacles National Park earlier this summer, and I actually haven't gotten the chance to use it yet. It's been sitting in my room waiting to be used, but I'm very excited to use it on future hikes. And it has the birds organized by color. So it starts, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Here we go. So it has all the colors listed here. So it starts with birds that are mostly black, and then it goes to birds that are mostly black and white, birds that are mostly blue, birds that are mostly brown, birds that are mostly gray, birds that are mostly green. I lied. Birds that have prominent green, birds that have prominent orange, birds that have prominent red, birds that are mostly white, and birds that have prominent yellow. So, as you go through this book, it basically tells you, hold on, I really should have thought this through. It tells you the size, what the males and females look like, what juveniles look like, what their nests look like typically, how many eggs are in a specific clutch, I think is the word, or that might be specifically for reptiles, what their migration pattern is like, what they eat, and what birds possibly look like this species. So I'll show you some of my favorites. So I see a lot of spotted towhees in my area, and I really like them. I like the noise they make, and I think they're just really silly. So I'm a big towhee fan. And I really like hooded mergansers as well. There's a creek that runs near my house, and there's a pair of hooded mergansers that hangs out in that creek, and I get to see them quite a bit. It's a very nice treat seeing these out in nature. I also really like the Steller's jay. These are not near where I live specifically, but when I go on hikes in areas around where I live, I see a lot of them, and I don't know, it's very special when I get to see was perched near or on a hill on a post while I was driving by, and I was very excited. I haven't seen many kestrels out in the wild. Here's one that I have just started seeing recently, the wood duck. I work in a nursery, and there's a creek that runs behind the nursery that I work at. And recently, I've been hearing wood ducks in the creek, and sometimes I'll see them just fly around past the nursery. It's very fun. Here's another one. So this is one of my all-time favorite birds, the oak titmouse. I love the call they make. I love how silly they are. And I love this little tuft on the top of their head. I feel like they don't get enough love because they're just all gray with nothing really special about them. But I think I'm also partial to oak trees, and since I love oak trees so much, I just love the oak titmouse. But this is definitely one of my favorite birds. So yeah, you should love the oak titmouse as well. Let's see. Okay, I think this is going to be the last one. So this is the snowy plover. I go surfing and I go to the beach quite a bit, and on occasion I will see small groups of snowy plovers along the shore, and I think they are one of the cutest animals on earth. They're so small, and the way their feet move so quickly, it looks like they're hovering over the sand, and I can't get enough of them. I think they're adorable. Sue me. So yeah, that's my Birds of California field guide. So next is my is just so cool. But yeah, and then in the back, we have the actual entries on each animal, or mammal specifically. So yeah, let's see, this is the Botto's pocket gopher. And they live in Southern California, and oh shoot, they live everywhere. So they live basically all throughout California, mostly through Utah, parts of Nevada, all of Arizona, and most of New Mexico, and part of Colorado as well. Very cool. I don't really know much about gophers, but I did see a lot of marmots when I went to Mount Rainier this year, and that was a really, really cool experience. I had never seen a marmot before. So this next one is the Laws Field Guide to the Sierra Nevada. I purchased this in Yosemite when I went about a month ago, maybe a little longer than that, but it was a very, very fun trip, and this field guide is so cool because it's all, again, separated by color, but it also has it has plants, it has insects, it has reptiles, it has birds, it has mammals, it has everything. So depending on where you are in the book, it's all different types of animals. And this is like one of the neatest books I've ever owned. I think I can look at this all the time. I think I'll have to make an entire video for this book because it's just like so amazing. I don't know, I love it. Hopefully that's not too loud. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to make an entire video for this book. So, this one is my edible and useful plants of California. This is one of the first kind of informational books that I bought. I had been going on a lot of hikes, and I had recently learned about miner's lettuce, which is a type of, I don't really know what it is. It's just a plant that grows in, I don't know, not temperate parts of California, in the, like, kind of early spring up until summer, and it's one of my favorite snacks to eat while I go on hikes. And I was kind of inspired to learn more about edible plants that grow near me, so I bought this book, and this one's really cool. It also has a little photo section in the middle, and this photo section, it highlights some of the important edible plants, but also some of the poisonous plants that may look like edible plants in California. And yeah, I love this book so much. It actually has recipes in it for the different plants. So this is an old-fashioned Osgood pie made of squaw currant. And yeah, I love this book so much. this never sees the light of day. Hi, Courtney, because I know I'm going to send this to you.